there, my name is Tim Stoddard, and in today's video, I'm going to tell you why this is a great time to open a stem cell clinic. And in addition, I'm going to give you some marketing tips, some insights, and some analysis to help you grow your stem cell clinic to get new patients if this is something that you are seriously considering. All right, let's dive right in. This is almost always the case when I create these videos that have a lot of data. I put the data in a document, and you can get a copy of this document in the description of this video. So just click on this link on the Google Docs, go to File, make a copy, and this is yours. You can come back and revisit it at any time. So first and foremost, I want to talk about some important news that just happened. Governor DeSantis of Florida, he passed a new law that sort of makes it legal to administer stem cells, even though they are not approved by the FDA. So Florida passed a legislation July 1st, allowing clinics to operate under a state-sanctioned framework for stem cell therapy. So this is a lot different. There's been regenerative medicine clinics and pain relief clinics, but the specific science involved, it's not that important. But this is different. Now people can really inject stem cells into different pain centers of the body. The law clarifies permitted procedures and enhances trust from both patients and practitioners. Anyway, this is a really good article to read if you're interested to know more. So Florida has joined Nevada and Utah to pass the state regulations which allow stem cell therapies that are not approved by the FDA. This is going to be a huge market. Florida is just the most recent state, and this is obviously going to expand across the country. And this is big news because for the last 10 years, if you wanted to get stem cells, a lot of times you had to go overseas. You had to go to places like Panama or Costa Rica or, I believe the Netherlands and Denmark and Germany were all places that you could go. This is going to be a big business in the United States. And so just check this out. This is basically, I asked ChatGPT to take this data from Google Trends and this data from the Grandview Research Report, which is also very fascinating. I highly, highly recommend that you read this. And it just aggregated what it is calling the demand curve. And so this demand curve for stem cell therapy is just absolutely exploding. It's skyrocketing. People are really interested in this. People who deal with chronic pain, especially joint pain, are really interested in finding alternative ways that don't involve painkillers and don't involve addictive opiates and opioids to try to heal themselves. And especially because the science of stem cells seems to be so groundbreaking that the demand is clearly growing. So the rising trend line that simulates increased consumer interest in stem cell therapy, reflecting anecdotal evidence from market reports and Google Trends. Okay, here's another thing that's really, really interesting about stem cells is, for whatever reason, probably because as of right now it's all cash pay, but it is a really, really high net worth industry. So it's very similar to hormone replacement and also hair restoration. Some of these really, really higher end health clinics just attract people that make more money. And this demographics report is also really, really fascinating. So the bar chart simulates high income distribution of patients who seek stem cell treatment, showing that most patients earn over $100,000 annually. So this is big business, and it taps into what can probably be seen as the most valuable demographic that there is, and that is wealthy people. And not only wealthy people, but wealthy people who are interested in investing in their long-term health. These are usually high achievers, high performers that spend money on themselves in a multitude of ways. So they don't see this as a last ditch expense, as something like diabetes or even kidney dialysis, right? Those businesses are sort of last ditch efforts. Those are people that are really sick. These are people that are proactive in their health and are continuously looking to spend and invest in themselves. So this is a business that is really, really promising, at least in terms of the markets and the demographics. So if you like, I highly recommend that you read these articles. This was actually a really fascinating article from NPR Health. It gave what I would call is a pessimistic view on the stem cell industry. It basically is saying that rich people are just looking for ways to spend their money. and that could be one of the reasons for the boom. However, I think this national survey that was done by the AAOS and Regenex is like a huge multi-conglomerate stem cell and pain relief series of clinics. It's a conglomerate basically. They have done some really, really cool patient survey data, and they've seen some amazing results, but also the results reflect the survey also reflects the demographic, and it is another proof positive case that the people that use stem cells and invest in stem cells are high income earners. All right, so what are we going to do about it, right? Let's say you already own a stem cell clinic or you're thinking about starting one. You're going to need to figure out how to get patients. And in all the research that I have seen, it shows that all stem cell clinics, they generate their patients locally. It's very, very rare to have somebody flying across the country anymore now that these regenerative medicine clinics and these stem cell clinics are popping up locally. It's much more rare to be flying to Panama. So what are we going to do? Well, most of it comes from Google search, stem cell clinic near me, or stem cell therapy Miami. These are just examples. Local SEO and Google business profiles are crucial for capturing this intent, and there is a massive opportunity for clinics to own their market with organic visibility. This is very, very fascinating because one thing about local search, and especially as it pertains to healthcare search, is it's not totally inundated by Google AI quite yet. It's not like a long tail information type search where someone's looking for an article or they're looking for more information. When you search for local businesses, especially healthcare related businesses, you get local businesses on Google. And so I'll show you some examples of that. There's some clinics that are absolutely dominating this market. And I want to give you some cool examples. So I live in Denver, and this is like a really, really great example, right? Denver Regenerative Medicine. This company is absolutely crushing it. They've done a great job of listing out all of their cornerstone pages and listing out all of the actual therapies. They've SEO'd their pages very, very well. So stem cell therapy for back pain in Denver, right? It's great content. I've read it. They did a really, really good job. And just to kind of show you as how this is a great example. Let's look at some of the data. So if we look at their keyword data on SEMrush, we can see that they have 3,000-ish hits a month, and that's actually a lot for a local healthcare clinic. But what's so cool about it is the fact that so much of their keyword volume is from high intent traffic, right? So regenerative medicine. And then you can see right here, this little pin, this means that it's showing up in the local pack. Stem cell clinic, they are just quite literally ranking in the local pack for stem cell clinic. Stem cell injection near me, stem cell clinic. Denver regenerative medicine, Denver stem cell, right? So let's just see what happens. Denver stem cells, right? They're ranking number one organically, and then they're ranking number one in the local pack. I mean, these guys are everywhere. And what's so cool about this is it's not as though it's a extremely competitive market right now. I think these guys are a great example, but their authority score is only 24. There's only 2.5 thousand backlinks, so it's not as though they've solidified themselves and they've positioned themselves to be basically unbeatable. It's just that this is still a very new industry, and most of the people who have clinics in this industry don't actually know how to generate online leads and how to position themselves to own a lot of this search traffic. NSI stem cell clinics, they do a great job here of building out all of their clinics, right? So they've listed, but even still, I mean, this is one of the leading stem cell providers in the country, and their site is not very good, and it's just not SEO'd that well. So they are listing all of their clinics almost in like a directory fashion. And as a result, they're definitely generating business, but this isn't unbeatable. Like I'm used to working in the behavioral healthcare space where you got some of the best SEOs and the best search marketers in the world, right? I mean, we're really, really good at this. And I see this and I just see so much opportunity. There's also some really, really great paid advertising going on. And I think the paid advertising is such a great example because this needs to be legit script certified, and there's just really strict rules around healthcare ads, especially considering the fact that this isn't FDA approved. And then lastly, let's talk about AI. every time I make a video about SEO and about local search marketing, the first thing that people say in the comments is like, but isn't AI going to kill SEO? And the answer is no, it's not. There's parts of SEO that are absolutely going to be impacted by AI, and a lot of them are going to be impacted negatively. But one of the reasons why I'm personally so invested and so doubled down on why I've doubled down on local healthcare search is because this seems to be something that Google is like entrenching itself not to flood it with AI. So let's look at some examples, right? If I type in PRP for back pain, I absolutely get a Gemini description and I get this button to dive deeper into AI mode. So this AI snippet, this serving of content is basically being aggregated from these 12 sites, right? But let's see what happens if I go back to that original search, right? Stem cell therapy in Denver. Well, there's no AI. There's no automated Gemini serving of content. It's just straight to the local pack. And this is like another really great example because Denver Regenerative Medicine, they're number one in the local pack. They're number one organically. So these guys are just absolutely crushing it. These guys are crushing it too. Send that stem cell center. Send that stem cell center. That's a tongue twister. They're ranking number three. And then Thrive is obviously doing really well, but they they are just ranking for this keyword. They don't even have a clinic here. They've just basically created location pages to try to rank for Denver and Vail. And this really tells me even more that there's so much opportunity because Google doesn't want to display this kind of content. Google wants to display this kind of content. They want to give answers to the questions. They quite literally want to provide stem cell therapy clinics in Denver. And this Thrive MD, that's not what this is. This is just like an article, more or less, that's SEO'd for stem cell clinic in Denver. To summarize, I am so bullish on stem cells right now. I'm so bullish on the industry. I'm so bullish on the regulations continuing to be passed state by state. And I think now is a great time to create a stem cell clinic. If you are thinking about opening one, if you already have one and you want to generate some new business, give me a call. You can go right down here to the website, quantumleads.com. This is what I do. I build healthcare businesses with digital marketing, and I'd be happy to audit your site and to help you out. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Please smash that subscribe button, and I'll talk to you on the next video.